podcast to me. Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to talk about charity. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. I am so glad that you could join me. A little quick update on the bike. Seems to be running really well. I'm very happy with it. It's probably about time to start planning that trip to Barber Motorsports. But that's not what I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to talk about was riding for charity. When I got this motorcycle, I started looking at various clubs because, I don't know, there's something about owning a Harley that it just seems like being in a club should be the next logical extension. And I've said it before, people look at it almost like it's an accessory. And I say that because, guilty as charged. I went through all the local clubs that might possibly interest me. There were a couple I ruled out just because I just knew they weren't for me. It seemed that most of the clubs had some theme really other than riding motorcycles. And although they were on motorcycles, I didn't want to join a Christian club, even though I am a Christian rider. I didn't want to join a military club, even though I am a vet rider. I wasn't really thrilled about the idea of joining a brand club. I just wanted to ride. But I was kind of amazed at how many charity clubs there are, and I know one or two, and I won't mention them, that really all they do is charity stuff. They only do charity rides. It's tax deductible, which is kind of smart, but I didn't really buy a motorcycle so I could do charity stuff all the time. And if you look at any of the motorcycle groups, forums, and that kind of thing, there are constantly charity rides being posted. Hey, let's ride for this charity or that. Charity's a good thing. I approve of charities. I actually give money. But I don't give money as a function of my motorcycle. Now, everybody's different. Don't get me wrong, I'm not judging anybody. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm just talking about my perspective of it. I didn't buy my motorcycle to give to charities. If I had, I would have just given that money to charity. Now, you may be thinking, well, Chris, you're just a That may be true. But, like I said, I do give to charities. I actually give a significant amount of money away. If I could, I'd give more money away. But that's really a separate gig than riding a motorcycle for me. Everything's like going in slow motion this morning. I mean, if I could, I'd give more money away. The only time my wife and I have ever almost argued is when we talk about what we would do if we win the lottery. If we won millions, my wife wants to set people up, family, close friends. I want to help them out. If I won several $1 million or even $1 million, I'd pay off my immediate bills, but then I'd give away the rest, absolutely all of the rest. Because I don't want those new friends coming out of the woodwork. And even if it's not about greed, there's like a billion sad stories out there that money would help. My small child needs this operation. You've got the money. Can you give it to us? And again, I guess it means I'm a because I want to abdicate that responsibility. I would just give it to somebody else to help where they see fit and do my best to give it to somebody that I trust to handle it responsibly. But I would give it away. Ironically, my son is the one who brought a little reason to the whole thing. It's something that apparently never occurred to either one of us. He said, why don't you just split it down the middle? That's just not how we do most of our finances, so it didn't occur to me. But my point being, I have no problem with giving stuff away. I think the world needs more charity, and I encourage it. St. Jude's, to be honest, I haven't started donating to them yet, but I think that's a fantastic cause. That's probably one of the best causes I've ever seen, and I really trust what they're doing. So by the time you watch this video, I'll have set something up with St. Jude's. So I am not at all anti-charity. There's some great causes out there to help vets and the homeless and children, and there are wonderful causes. But for me, that's not strategically tied to my motorcycle. So I'll see a lot of these rides for this charity and that charity, and I'm just not interested. And maybe that makes me a That wouldn't come as a surprise to some people either. And I can't really say enough. If that's your thing, good on you. Good for you. Do what you can. I'm doing a lot more than a lot of people. I'm just strictly talking from my perspective. I'm generally not interested in riding for charity causes. I suppose maybe you'd have to rope me into the cause before you rope me into the ride. There's a children's home up the way that every year a bunch of bikers get together and take gift cards to the kids for Christmas. And since I was in that children's home for a while, that's something that's kind of near and dear to me. I can relate to it. I understand. So I try to do that. I've been doing that for a couple of years. I didn't do it last year, but I have every intention of doing it this year. Rode up there 2 years ago, and it was so cold that we stopped off to get gas when we reached Columbia. It's in Columbia, South Carolina. And I could actually put my hand on my pipes, and they were cool to the touch. It was, after riding for an hour and a half, it was that cold. So how do you feel about charities? How do you feel about riding for charities? Is it something that you do every chance you get? Is it something that you do for charities you particularly believe in? Let me know in the comments below what you think. What I've been trying to do on every video that I've failed miserably at for the past couple is do a shout out to one other channel that I watch. And this week's channel is go check it out, show them some love, subscribe, tell them I sent you. And with that, I'm going to tell you again how much I appreciate you being here. We are creeping up on 1,000 subs. I'm creeping up on 200 videos. That's unbelievable to me. I hope you really liked the Maggie Valley video. I was really proud of it. It turned out okay. I mean, it always ends up that as soon as you post a video, you think of things you'd rather do differently, but it turned out okay. That's a creative curse. That happens to everybody who's creative. It's never done. So once again, I'm going to say, go do something nice for somebody this week. Make the world a little bit better place. Maybe give to a charity. St. Jude's would be a good one. You would drop them $10 or set up something recurring. When I say I appreciate you being here, it's not just a tagline. I mean it. I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.